Forestry at Clemson University, USA, as a guest of honor. I request all the dignitaries, Director, CSIR-NBRI, and Secretary, ISEP, to grace the stage. So please, sir, please join the stage. To begin this occasion with warmth and fragrance, I request Director Sir to present bouquet of flowers to Shri Sanjay Pathak ji and Professor Puneet K Dwivedi as a gesture of welcome. I request all our dignitaries on the stage to come forward for the lighting of the lamp, symbol of wisdom, knowledge, and peace. And Dr. Pujarani for Saraswati Vandana recitation.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणादण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता श्यामा पटु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजडापहा.
I request Director Sir for his welcome address.
A very good morning to everyone. I welcome you all in the World Environment Day. इसके बारे में डिटेल में बताने के लिए मुझे NBRI में कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप लोग सब जानते हैं वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे क्यों मानना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं मानना चाहिए। लेकिन कुछ चीज़ें मैंने बताना पसंद करूँगा। हम तो बहुत ऐसे ही कार्यक्रम करते हैं। NBRI में बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम होता है, हमारा एक एनवायरमेंटल डिपार्टमेंट भी है। उसमें से आई लाइफ से लेके पंकज आई लाइफ से लेके बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम होता है। एक पेड़ माँ के नाम हमेशा चलता है। बहुत सारे स्कूल में हम लगा चुके हैं पेड़। अभी भी आज भी शाम को कोई 300 पेड़ लगेगा कैंटोनमेंट बोर्ड में। तो हमारे ये कार्यक्रम आज वर्ल्ड एनवायरमेंटल डे है, लेकिन हमारे लिए तो डेली एनवायरमेंट डे। तो आज जो है मैं कुछ चीज़ NBRI जो कर रहा है एनवायरमेंट के ऊपर कुछ चीज़ बताऊंगा। एक तो है लैंड रिमेडिएशन, उसमें NBRI का भागीदारी बहुत अच्छा है। उसके साथ साथ जो प्लास्टिक माइक्रो प्लास्टिक्स के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, ये पायोनियरिंग वर्क NBRI से होता है, जो कि वर्ल्ड लेवल पे जो प्रोटोकॉल्स वगैरह एक्सेप्टेड है। NBRI के दिया हुआ प्रोटोकॉल्स, माइक्रो प्लास्टिक, लैंडफिल्स, हाउ यू कैन डिटेक्ट द प्लास्टिक्स। नाउ they are going for amelioration of that. How they will be doing that? That future will tell. But one major program NBRI is taking, that we have to उससे बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान होने से पहले ऐसे कुछ तकनीक हम निकाल के रखें जो कि देश विदेश में NBRI का नाम लिया जाए। नाम लेना तो अलग बात है, लेकिन लोगों को जो निस्तार मिले उससे, माइक्रो प्लास्टिक से, उसी के ऊपर हम काम करके पहले से क्यों ना करें। ये केवल नहीं है, धीरे धीरे एनवायरमेंट डिग्रेडेशन जो हो रहा है हम उसको रोक ही नहीं सकते। पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रहा है, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रहा है। अभी आप देखेंगे जो रास्ते में जो पेड़ वगैरह कट जाता है, रोड बनाना है, नया रोड बनाना है, कट जाता है, फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट भी कुछ कर नहीं सकता। डेवलपमेंटल वर्क के लिए सारे कुछ, घर बनाना है, कोई अच्छा सा पेड़ है बहुत दिनों से 300-400 साल का पेड़ है, कब कट गया पता नहीं चला। कुछ डेवलपमेंट, जब डेवलपमेंट और पर्यावरण ये दोनों के एक बोलते हैं एंटागोनिस्टिक टाइप का है, लेकिन कम्प्लीमेंटरिटी करने के लिए एनबीआरआई काम कर रहा है। जैसे कि हमारे साइंटिस्ट ने अभी काम कर रहे हैं ऑक्सीजन जनरेटिंग प्लांट्स। पता है ऑक्सीजन जनरेटिंग प्लांट हमें पता है क्या क्या है, लेकिन साइंटिफिकली पता है क्या नहीं। साइंटिफिकली कितना, हम लोग तो बता देते हैं ये नीम ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन देता है, बरगद का पेड़ ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन देता है, ठीक है, लेकिन कितना देता है, कैसे देता है, कौन से स्टेज में देता है, कैसे हम उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं, उसके लिए कुछ मॉडल सिस्टम डेवलप कर रहे हैं। हमारे एनबीआरआई में भी एक ग्रीन ऐप है, ग्रीन ऐप है जो बहुत दिनों से बना हुआ है, बहुत दिनों से बना हुआ है। इसी के लिए भी जाना जाता है कि रोड के किनारे कौन से पेड़ हम लगाएं, कैसे लगाएं, कैसे उनको स्ट्रैटेजिकली बनाएं। लोअर लेवल हर्ब्स, श्रब्स, ट्रीज, लीवर्ड साइड, विंडवर्ड साइड, तो कैसे हम उसको लगाएं। ये अब अर्बन डेवलपमेंट बहुत जगह में हाईवे अथॉरिटी यूज करते हैं। अभी अभी हम एक इनिशिएटिव लिए हुए हैं इको एजुकेशनल हब, जो कि वहाँ एक ऑलरेडी इनागुरेट हो चुका है एक ट्रैक, नॉर्थ इंडियन ट्रैक, उसको मैं बताना चाहूँगा आप लोगों को। जो हमारे धरोहर पेड़ हैं, जो हमारे हेरिटेज पेड़ हैं, जैसे कि 52 इमली एक पेड़ आप जानते होंगे यूपी में है, जिसमें 52 या 53 लोगों को हैंगिंग किया गया था। फर्स्ट वार ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, वो ओरिजिनल ट्री को कटिंग, उसको रूटिंग करके उसी जगह लगाया गया है। उसका मतलब क्या है, क्यों लगाएं? क्योंकि हमारा जो न्यू जनरेशन आ रहे हैं, हम उनको हिस्ट्री के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है। हमें भी किसी लोगों को पता नहीं होगा हिस्ट्री, हम कैसे इंडिपेंडेंट हुए, फर्स्ट वार ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट क्या है, चंपारण रिवोल्यूशन क्या है, दांडी मार्च क्या है। हम एक ट्रैक बनाएं, उसी ट्री के साथ वहाँ QR कोड दें, वो बोले हमें, जब स्कैन करें और हिस्ट्री हमें सिखाए, तो हम नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए कुछ करके जा रहे हैं। बहुत लोग बोलेंगे वेस्ट ऑफ मनी है, लेकिन हम सोचते हैं कि नहीं, हम ये नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए कुछ छोड़ के जा रहे हैं। इवन इफ द सेलुलर जेल ऑफ अंडमान एंड निकोबार, इट स्पीक्स समथिंग। सो इफ ए स्टूडेंट गोज देयर, स्कैन एंड लिसन सेलुलर जेल में क्या क्या हुआ था, वो यही पौधा है, वहीं का पौधा है, रेप्लिका है। अक्षयवट हेरिटेज, हमारा कल्चरल हेरिटेज, ऐसे कुछ पौधा लगाया गया। क्योंकि आप देखेंगे बहुत सारे पेड़ हमारा मूक हैं, कुछ बोल नहीं सकते, वहाँ खड़ा है, कट गया, लेकिन हमारा हेरिटेज ट्री है वो, उसको हम रखने के लिए कैसे ये करेंगे। और मेरे जो प्रीडिसेसर्स हैं एनबीआरआई का, हम उनको बहुत रेस्पेक्ट करेंगे, क्योंकि वो एक उनका सोच था, इंडो गांजेटिक प्लेन का जो पौधा है, प्लांट्स हैं, वो ट्रीज हैं, उनको रेप्लिकेट में कंजर्व करके रखे हुए हैं। आई एम अमेज्ड। आप अंदर जाओगे तो आप ये हो जाएगा, क्योंकि यू विल गेट गुजबंक बाय सीइंग दैट। रियली बहुत सारे सोच पहले भी आया है एनबीआरआई में, आगे भी ऐसे आता रहेगा, हम लोग सब चले जाएंगे तब भी आता रहेगा। और एनबीआरआई ऐसे एक इंस्टीट्यूट, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट में, मैं एनवायरमेंट के बारे में आज केवल बता रहा हूँ, और स्ट्रेस टॉलरेंट प्लांट डेवलप के लिए फ्यूचर को देख के 10 साल 20 साल बाद क्या हो सकता है, तो उसी को देख के हम क्या क्या डेवलप कर सकते हैं। हमारे सारे ग्रुप्स, मॉलिकुलर बायोलॉजी ग्रुप, बायोडाइवर्सिटी ग्रुप, सारे ग्रुप उसमें लगे हुए हैं। सक्सेशन कैसे हुआ, कैसे प्लांट का सक्सेस, क्योंकि प्लांट एनवायरमेंट के साथ पूरा जुड़ा हुआ है। प्लांट किसी का नहीं है, सबका है। एनिमल कोई रिलीजन का हो सकता है, अभी 4-5 दिन बाद कट जाएंगे कुछ एनिमल, कुछ रिलीजन का हो सकता है, कुछ एनिमल, लेकिन प्लांट सबका है, सबके लिए है। वो एनवायरमेंट के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। हमारे साथ आज हमारे वरिष्ठ फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर हैं, हमारे साथी हैं, वो आपको वेलकम करता हूं सर आज। You are most welcome in this campus, pious campus of NBRI. It is a historical campus. आप जानते होंगे, फिर बता दूंगा हेरिटेज ट्री के बारे में. एक बरगद का पेड़ है अंदर NBRI गार्डन में. वो उदा देवी जो वहाँ एक स्टैचू लगा गया है, माननीय उदा देवी जी हैं, वो 32 सोल्जर्स को उसके ऊपर चढ़ के मार दिए थे, ब्रिटिश सोल्जर्स को. जब पकड़े गए ब्रिटिश सोल्जर उनको मार दिए, उसी पेड़ के ऊपर छुपे हुए. वो पेड़ अभी तक है उधर, मुख साक्षी है. वो NBRI एक हिस्टोरिकल प्लेस है. सर उसी में आपका स्वागत है. द्विवेदी जी आपका भी स्वागत है. आप USA से यहाँ आए हैं, आप यहाँ आके हमें हमारा मान बढ़ाए हैं, आपसे कुछ सीखेंगे तो वही उम्मीद रखते हैं. और साने सर ऑलवेज आप तो हमारे साथ हैं ही, आप वरिष्ठ हैं, आपके आशीर्वाद से हम जो भी कुछ कर रहे हैं. और राणा प्रताप सर थैंक यू वेरी मच, वेलकम यू. नंदिता मैडम और बहुत सारे, हाँ RD सर, सब लोग जो मैंने नाम नहीं बता पाया उनको भी स्वागत, सबको स्वागत है. मेरे मित्र, मेरे सारे साथी, साइंटिस्ट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, टेक्निकल्स, स्टूडेंट्स who are the pillars of this institutes, all are welcome. Press and media also welcome. Everybody related to environment, who feels for the environment, who get goosebumps for environment when moving around the nature, all are welcome here. I am thankful to you that you have come. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Namaskar. I forgot one thing. हमारे बीच प्रशांत जी हैं, न्यूज एक से आए हुए हैं. उनके नाम स्पेसिफिकली मैं लेना चाहूँगा. संभव जी, संभव शर्मा सॉरी, मेरे क्योंकि यहाँ बोलने के टाइम कुछ जो है हो जाता है जो कि वो नेम वगैरह इधर उधर हो जाता है. सो आई एम सॉरी फॉर दैट. संभव ही इज ए वेरी मच एंथुजियास्टिक यंग. ये लखनऊ में भी थे. लखनऊ में किस में थे? जागरण में, हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स में थे पहले. हमारे बीच है. He is a young enthusiastic journalist. So wish you all the best in your career. You are most welcome here, and you enjoy the botanical garden and whatever you are thinking to enjoy, and you are welcome. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Samit Kumar Behra to introduce our chief guest and guest of honor, and also brief us about our different activities and upcoming activities of society.
Good morning to one and all. Respected Dr. Ajit Kumar Shasany, Director CSIR-NBRI, Shri Sanjay Pathak ji, Professor Puneet Dwivedi, respected P.V. Sane sir, respected Professor R.P. Singh sir, Dr. R.D. Tripathi sir, Dr. Nanta Singh, or all my senior colleagues from CSIR-NBRI, my fellow colleagues and research fellows. So, as I have been assigned to brief about the activities of International Society of Environmental Botanists, so it is a society which was founded in the year 1994 with only 28 founding members, and we are fortunate and privileged. The founder director Dr. P.V. Sane sir is also among with us in this auditorium, so that's a great blessing for we all. So it has been initiated with your hope, and now we are in 2025. So recently we conducted the election and new EC has been constituted. So Dr. Ajit Kumar Shasany is the president, and these are the different office bearers. And we have in the advisors like Dr. P.V. Sane, Dr. Ahmad, Professor Kohli, Professor Barik, Professor Tandon, Professor Barsani, and Professor Arun and Professor M.L. Khan. And as per advice of our director sir advised to take two global importance environmentalists to be on the advisor board. So we requested Professor Lina and Professor Elena to advise us, and they happily accepted our invitation, and they are also serving as international advisor. And we have 13 EC members who are from Pan India representation. Society has successfully conducted, along with CSIR-NBRI, we have successfully conducted 6 international conference on plants and environmental pollutions, which is one of the flagship program of our society, and which we hosted during 1996, 2002, 2005, 2015, and last one 2018. And in the same series, we are going to host ICPF 7 during November 30th to 2nd of December in the 2025, and the pre-registration is already open, so all can book the date, and please note down. And with the following 11 themes, we will be having deliberations from across the different globes of the things. Society also publishes one international journal, that is International Journal of Plant and Environment, which is having NAS rating, and which is also enlisted under the UGC care list, which we are publishing since 2015, and now we have reached in its 11th volume, and now we have gone to 4 subscription, 4 volumes per year. And also we are publishing one popular scientific magazine named Enviro News for popularizing the environmental science and allied subjects among the non-scientific peers. Society also confers fellow to the very accomplished environmentalist plant scientist engaged in the plant science research in relation to environmental science and its challenges as fellow of International Society of Environmental Botanists, and till date we have conferred 98 fellow from ISEB, and we also award Young Scientist Award to young researchers till the age of 35 years, and we are also engaged in various outreach activities. Now my responsibility is to introduce the chief guest and guest of honor. Firstly, I will go for introducing chief guest. So, Shri Sanjay Pathak ji, who is very familiar with the NBRI family. Still, I will, with your permission, I will go for your introduction, sir. Shri Sanjay Pathak ji is one of the very dynamic Indian Forest Service officer of UP cadre. He is 1996 batch Indian Forest Service officer. He obtained his BSc Zoology from Bhagalpur University and Hansraj College, Delhi University. Further, he obtained Master's Diploma in Forestry from Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, Dehradun, and then further Advanced Diploma in Public Administration from Indian Institute of Public Administration, New Delhi. Also, he obtained MPhil in Social Sciences from Punjab University. During his service tenure, he held various posts, and to name few, he served as Forest Economics for Government of Uttar Pradesh, and as silviculturist for Southern Region for Government of Uttar Pradesh. He served DFO Swelva Wildlife Sanctuary, Deputy Director Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. Then he served at National Tiger Conservation Authority NTCA on deputation to Government of India as AIG and DIG in the NTCA, which is again very crucial administrative post. Later on, he served as Chief Conservator of Forest for Bundelkhand Zone, and further he served as Chief Conservator of Forest and Field Director for a long tenure at Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. And currently he is holding post of General Manager and Additional PCCF for Uttar Pradesh Forest Corporation since January 2023 onwards. He has received many awards to his credit. To name few, he is recipient of G Files Governance Award 2016 for exceptional contribution towards environmental protection, wildlife conservation and sustainable livelihood societies, and also he has been conferred with Award of Excellency from our Honorable Governor and Honorable CM of Government of Uttar Pradesh. with the above brief introduction, sir, I again, on behalf of CSIR-NBRI and on behalf of Indian Society of Environment Botanists, I welcome you, sir, for accepting our invitation with a very short notice to become chief guest of this great day of World Environment Day. Now, coming to introduction to my close friend, Professor Puneet Dwivedi, who is today's guest of honor. Professor Puneet Dwivedi is a full professor and Hillard Edward Chair in Sustainable Forestry at Department of Forestry and Environmental Conservation at Clemson University, USA. Professor Dwivedi is a very diverse in his academic career. He is basically a mechanical engineer. He is a B.Tech in mechanical engineer from Devi Ahalya University, Indore. Then subsequently he pursued MBA from Indian Institute of Forest Management, and subsequently he did his PhD from University of Florida with major of forest policy and economy. Later on, he did postdoc with two very top university of USA at University of Illinois, Urbana, and second postdoc from Yale University at School of Environment and Climate and Energy Institute. Subsequently, he joined as a faculty with University of Georgia with Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources, which is one of the very prestigious school in the field of ecology, where Professor E.P. Odom started his all ecological research. So he continued at University of Georgia as professor till 2024. Later on, he joined as chair professor, Hillard Edward Chair Professor with Sustainable Forestry at Clemson University, USA. He has to his credit 150 publications in very high reputed scientific journals. To cite a few, he has publication in Nature Energy, Nature Climate Change, PNAS, Environmental Research Letters, and Global Change Biology. And he has mentored 32 research students as a major mentor, and currently he has guiding 8 doctoral research. To his credit, he has assigned many administrative posts with the universities, like he is member of the Tenure Promotion Reappointment Committee with Clemson University, member of Graduate Affairs Committee with Warnell School of Forestry, University of Georgia, and he has been conferred with many professional recognition, like recently he was conferred with one of the highest forestry award conferred by USA, that is 2024 Sustainable Forestry Initiative Conservation Leadership Award from USA. Then in 2023 University of Georgia award. Then another one is very prestigious 2014 UPRO Research Award. So he has many things to his credit, and with this brief introduction, I again warmly welcome Professor Puneet, one of my very close friend, to accepting our invitation with again very short notice to become guest of honor and to deliver the keynote lecture for on the occasion of World Environment Day. Thank you, Professor. So, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. I now request Chief Guest Shri Sanjay Pathak ji for his address.
सभी को नमस्कार। राष्ट्रीय पादप विज्ञान संस्थान के सभागार में उपस्थित समस्त लोगों को मैं विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस की शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। साथ ही ISEV जो 30वीं वर्षगांठ मना रही है अपनी, तो उनके भी समस्त सदस्यों को मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। सर्वप्रथम मैं डॉक्टर शासनी और NBRI प्रबंधन ISEV के जो ऑफिस बेयरर्स हैं, इनका शुक्रगुजार हूँ, जिन्होंने मुझे अवसर दिया है कि आप सभी से रूबरू होकर अपनी बात कह सकूं। अनौपचारिक रूप से तो मैं इस संस्थान से पिछले 25 वर्ष से जुड़ा हूं, डॉक्टर पुष्पांगन सर के समय से ही, लेकिन औपचारिक तौर पे ये मेरे ख्याल में तीसरा टर्न हुआ कि मैं यहाँ हूँ। तो मैं आपसे अनौपचारिक बातें ही करूँगा। दिल से बातें करूंगा। औपचारिक बात करने की जिम्मेदारी आज जो है पुनीत द्विवेदी साहब की है। तो ये की नोट एड्रेस करेंगे, उसमें आपसे ये बातें करेंगे। विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस, आप सभी जो इसके तकनीकी और जो औपचारिक पहलू हैं उससे वाकिफ़ हैं, बल्कि कई लोग जो हैं यहाँ इस सभागार में बैठे हैं वो ज्ञान में मुझसे काफ़ी श्रेष्ठ होंगे। और जो हमारे युवा वैज्ञानिक जो यहाँ दिख रहे हैं रंग बिरंगे कपड़ों में, तो वो भी जो इस विज्ञान की दुनिया है उसकी रंगीनियों को और भी बढ़ाएंगे, ये मेरा विश्वास है। जो आपका ये परिसर है राष्ट्रीय पादप विज्ञान संस्थान का, इसमें जो है बहुत तरह तरह के जो है रंग ऐसे ही हैं, तो बाकी उसमें और रंग जोड़ने की जिम्मेदारी आप लोगों को है, वो आप बखूबी निभाएंगे, ऐसा मेरा विश्वास है। विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस की बात कर रहा था, तो 1972 से स्टॉकहोम कॉन्फ्रेंस से यदि जोड़ें आज तो लगभग 53 साल, लेकिन मनाते हुए ये दिवस मनाया हमने सबसे पहले 1973 में। और ये 72-73 जो है हमारे देश के इतिहास में भी यदि देखेंगे, यदि वानिकी के क्षेत्र में देखें या वन्यजीव संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में देखें, तो बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण माइलस्टोन है कि इसी अवधि के दौरान हमारा जो वन्यजीव संरक्षण अधिनियम आया था, इसी अवधि के दौरान हमारा प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर योजना हमारी शुरू हुई थी। तो पिछले यदि आप देखें, जब शासनी सर या मतलब जो है इस सभागार में बैठे हुए जो हमारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो काफ़ी हम लोग की स्कूलिंग एक साथ हुई होगी, उस दौरान सर हम लोग पढ़ते थे तो पॉल्यूशन के नाम पे हमें जो है 3-4 ही मुख्य बातें मतलब जो है बताई जाती थी। स्कूल के सिलेबस में भी एयर पॉल्यूशन, वाटर पॉल्यूशन, ये 2 मेन होते थे। तब धीरे धीरे करके सॉइल पॉल्यूशन और नॉइज पॉल्यूशन भी जुड़ना शुरू हुआ था। लेकिन आज ये विडंबना देखिए कि एयर पॉल्यूशन अथवा वाटर पॉल्यूशन का एक घटक, एक अवयव प्लास्टिक, वो पूरी दुनिया को चिंता में डाल रहा। मतलब एक अलग हम उसके लिए दिवस मना रहे हैं, प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन से कैसे जूझा जाए। और सबसे जो मतलब मार्के की बात है, यदि आप पूरा उसका इतिहास देखेंगे, विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस की जो विषय वस्तु रही है, जो थीम रहा है, यदि उस पर आप दृष्टिपात करें तो आप पाएंगे कि शायद ही कोई ऐसा विषय है जिसको बार बार जो है दुनिया के सामने रखा जा रहा हो। और इतने कम अवधि में, मतलब बहुत ही कम अवधि में कोई विषय वस्तु को दुनिया के समक्ष रखा गया हो, तो ये प्लास्टिक वाला मामला है। 2018 में सबसे पहले नई दिल्ली में हमारा ही देश, जहाँ पे हमने व्रत लिया था कि 2022 तक सिंगल यूज़ प्लास्टिक को हम हटा देंगे या हटाने की दिशा में प्रयास करेंगे, तो उस समय जो है यही बीटिंग प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन ये थीम थी। और उसके बाद फिर 2022 में आइवरी कोस्ट में जो हुआ कार्यक्रम, मतलब 18 के बाद तुरंत देखिए 4 साल के बाद आइवरी कोस्ट के अंदर उस समय सॉल्यूशंस फाइंड करने की बात हुई। और आज हम 2025 में पुटिंग एन एंड टू प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन की बात कर रहे हैं। तो समझिए ये कितना विकराल रूप ले रहा है। आप सभी लोग मतलब इसके एस्पेक्ट से वाकिफ़ हैं। यदि समुद्र की बात करें तो, ज़मीन की बात करें तो हर साल जो है ऑलमोस्ट 500 मिलियन टन प्लास्टिक जो है जुड़ता जा रहा। और हम लोग के बचपन में हमने ये देखा था, सब जो आपने भी बाकी लोगों ने भी जो हमारे उम्र के इसमें है ब्रैकेट में, उन्होंने देखा होगा कि उस समय लोग झोलों का इस्तेमाल करते थे। उस समय जो पैकिंग होती थी, आप कुछ भी खरीदने जाते थे तो कागज़ के जो पेपर के दोने थे। तो हमने वो देखा कि हम आज दुनिया को सिखा रहे हैं भाई रिफ्यूज़, रीयूज़, रिसाइकिल, लेकिन हमारे पूर्वज जो हमसे काफ़ी आगे थे। हम वो देश थे कि हम जो केवल अपनी परवाह नहीं करते थे, हम परवाह करते थे पूरे सृष्टि की। खाली ये मानव मात्र तक ही सीमित नहीं था। हम जो है सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु माँ कश्चित् दुर्भाग् भवेत् वाले देश थे। और वहाँ पे हमारी जो है वसुधा जो है वो वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम की जो हमारी नीति थी, जो कहा कि अयम निज परोवेति गणना लघु चेतसाम उदारचरिता नाम तु वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम। तो हमारी वसुधा में केवल आदमी ही नहीं सम्मिलित था, उसमें पशु पक्षी जितने भी थे, पेड़ कुछ भी हो, सब के प्रति जो है हमारा सरोकार हुआ करता था। तो धीरे धीरे करके वो जो मैकेनिकल जो चीज़ें होती गई, हम वो सरोकार भूलते गए। और आज देखिए तो ये विकराल स्थिति है कि हर तरफ जो है वो पॉलीथीन का जो दौर था मेरे ख्याल से 80s में शुरू हुआ है, लेट 80s में, और उस समय से इंडस्ट्रीज डलती गई। आज बाकी ऐसा नहीं कि प्लास्टिक बिल्कुल ही मतलब जो है घटिया चीज़ है, भाई प्लास्टिक के बिना हमारे जीवन को उतनी आसानी नहीं मिलती, उतनी सुविधाजनक स्थिति नहीं होती। लेकिन जहाँ प्रश्न है प्लास्टिक को नहीं यूज करने की, तो सिंगल यूज़ प्लास्टिक मेनली। अब सिंगल यूज़ प्लास्टिक में क्या है, आज यदि आप नज़र डालते हैं तो सबसे ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन किसका, आप किसको जो है दोषी मानेंगे? मैं अक्सर जब भी जाता हूँ तो खास करके जब बच्चों के उसमें जाता हूँ तो पूछता हूँ कि भाई सबसे खूंखार जानवर कौन है पृथ्वी पर, तो मैडम इंगित कर रही है, बिल्कुल सही। और सबसे अधिक नुकसान किसने पहुंचा है प्रकृति को, मतलब जो उसको हम समझते हैं बाघ है, हाथी है, भालू है, ये सब इतने जो खूंखार टाइप के दिखते हैं, इन्होंने ही फैलाया होगा ये सब। एक वाक्य बता दीजिए जहाँ किसी जानवर ने प्रकृति को नुकसान पहुंचाया हो। वो फायदा ही पहुंचा रहा है, उसके गोबर से मतलब जो है आप देखिए प्रकृति जो संरक्षित हो रही। वही हाथी के बारे में बोलते हैं ना, हाथी ने तोड़ दिया, पूरा तोड़ फोड़ मचा दिया, लेकिन तोड़ फोड़ भी जो मचा रहा है वो कहीं ना कहीं प्रकृति को लाभ पहुंचा रहा है। वो जो आवश्यक गैप है उसको क्रिएट कर रहा है। जो बहुत सारे फल हैं जिनका पॉलिनेशन जो है आसानी से नहीं हो सकता, जिसका डिस्पर्सल बहुत आसानी से नहीं हो सकता, वैसी चीज़ों को हाथी लेके जा रहा, उसको दूर दूर तक जो है डिस्पर्स कर रहा, सूरज की रोशनी नीचे पहुंच पाए, सारे टायर्स जो हैं वो एड्रेस हों, सबको जो है मिले रोशनी, इस तरह की व्यवस्था कर रहा। लेकिन हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, मतलब ये आज की बात नहीं है, मतलब आप समझिए कि आज से जितने इस हॉल में बैठे लोग हैं जिनकी मतलब जो सर्वाधिक उम्र होगी, उनकी उस उम्र से भी पहले डॉक्टर रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जो हमारे राष्ट्र कवि हुआ करते थे, उनकी एक कविता थी, उसमें उन्होंने शुरुआत ही की है कि रात यूं कहने लगा मुझसे गगन का चांद, रात यूं कहने लगा मुझसे गगन का चांद, आदमी भी क्या अनोखा जीव होता है, उलझने अपनी बना के आप ही फंसता और फिर बेचैन हो जगता न सोता। तो आज देखिए कि उलझने जो है हमने, ये समस्या किसने पैदा की, ये हम ही ने पैदा की। और इसी कड़ी में मैं यदि मतलब उर्दू के मशहूर शायर हैं हमारे निदा फाजली साहब, जिन्होंने कि काफ़ी मतलब बेहतरीन गज़लें लिखी हैं, आप लोगों से बहुत सारे लोगों ने उनकी गज़लों का रसास्वादन किया होगा जगजीत सिंह की आवाज़ में। तो उन्होंने लिखा है हर तरफ हर जगह बेशुमार आदमी, फिर भी तन्हाइयों का शिकार आदमी। उसी में दो लाइनें हैं, हर तरफ भागते दौड़ते रास्ते, हर तरफ भागते दौड़ते रास्ते, हर तरफ आदमी का शिकार आदमी। तो ये सारी की सारी जो समस्याएं हैं ये आदमी ने पैदा की हैं, और आदमी को ही, मज़े की बात है कि आदमी को ही उसका समाधान भी ढूंढना। तो मैं अक्सर मतलब बीइंग ए फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर मैं कहीं जाता था तो मैं अब्राहम लिंकन की उस लाइन से जो डेमोक्रेसी के ऊपर उन्होंने कही थी, मैं वो मतलब जो है उसी की एनालॉजी लेते हुए एक बात कहता था कि फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ आर सच रिसोर्सेज which are being protected from people, for the people and by the people। तो आज की डेट में हमें किसी और से खतरा नहीं है, खतरा जो है मतलब जो है पूरा का पूरा इंसान ने इस सृष्टि को, इस पृथ्वी को रहने लायक नहीं छोड़ा है। हम अपनी जनसंख्या बढ़ाएं, किसी को आपत्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए, हमें सब सुख सुविधा चाहिए, लेकिन बाकी जानवरों की कीमत पे चाहिए। जो फेलो स्पीसीज़ है क्या उनका हक नहीं है इस पृथ्वी पे? इसलिए मैंने कहा कि आपसे दिल से बातें करूंगा। विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस जो है कागजी बातें करने का ये फोरम नहीं है, क्योंकि कागजी ज्ञान जो है, किताबी ज्ञान सभी के पास बहुत है, क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ, आंकड़ों की बात करें तो सब हमारे जो यंग युवा वैज्ञानिक हैं इनको हमसे कहीं ज़्यादा पता होगा। उसका यदि प्रस्तुतिकरण करने का अवसर दिया जाए तो यहाँ पे बैठे हमको लगता है कि मतलब जो है 70% 80% लोग मतलब हमारे उम्र के लोगों को छोड़ दिया जाए तो उससे बेहतर प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ पे कर देंगे। लेकिन ये मैं कहीं ना कहीं जो है लोगों के कोर को छूना चाहता हूँ कि हम ये सोचें हम क्या योगदान दे सकते हैं, हमारी तरफ से क्या हो सकता है। हम ये व्रत नहीं ले सकते कि हम जो है अगले दिन से प्लास्टिक का जो है मिनिमल उपयोग करेंगे, हम जो है साथ में झोला लेके चलेंगे जैसे हमारे पूर्वज चलते थे। ये पानी की जो बोतलें हैं, मुझे देख के प्रसन्नता है, बहुत सारी जगहों पे अब ये हो रहा है कि यहाँ पे बिस्लेरी अथवा जो है किनले अथवा एक्वाफिना का बॉटल नहीं रखा हुआ। यदि आप देखिए वो पॉलीथीन के बाद सबसे यदि किसी ने मतलब जो है नुकसान पहुँचाया है तो आज की डेट में, और ख़ास करके जो 200 ml की जो बोतलें मिल रही, तो तो हम लोग अपने तरफ से प्रयास करते हैं कि भाई पानी की बोतल में पानी भर के चलें, और सभी संस्थानों से जो है इसको बैन कर दिया जाना। मुझे थोड़ा सॉरी, इसका कुछ विकल्प जो है, मैं मतलब हमारे पादप विज्ञानी यहाँ सब बैठे हैं, इसका समाधान मैं ज़रूर चाहूँगा सर, यदि कुछ हम लोग करें। आप लोगों ने बहुत ही मतलब नायाब चीज़ें जो हैं पूरे देश दुनिया के सामने ला के रखा है। अभी संभव जो है देख रहे थे कि हर कुछ संभव है यहाँ पे आने के बाद। तो मैं ये सर आपसे मेरा जो है निवेदन हुआ कि मतलब इस दिशा में कुछ किया जाए। मैंने कुछ वीडियोस देखे थे व्हाट्सएप पे और दूसरे देशों के, जिसमें कि प्लांट का मटेरियल है वो जैसे कैप्सूल्स के लिए हम लोग यूज़ करते हैं सर, स्टार्च का, वो पहले जो है एनिमल की हड्डी से बनता था, आज की डेट में प्लांट प्रोडक्ट के भी इस्तेमाल से हो रहा है। उस तरह की यदि कोई चीज़ हो जिसमें आदमी पानी लेके चले, एक रैपर कागज़ का हटाया मुंह में फेंक ले, उसके प्यास बुझ जाए, तो शायद जो है बहुत बड़ा एक कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा। दूसरा, हम लोग, मैं मतलब जो है एक ऐसे विभाग से आता हूँ जो प्रकृति के साथ ही जुड़ा है, जो सब चीज़ों में ना कहता। दुनिया जो है इसलिए वन विभाग से परेशान रहती है कि भाई हर एक चीज़ में ना बोलते हैं, लेकिन हम लोग ये मानते हैं कि हमारा जो संवैधानिक दायित्व है वो जानवरों के प्रति ज़्यादा है, इंसानों के प्रति कम। इंसान इस बात को नहीं मतलब समझ पाते कि ये भी चीज़ें जो हो रही हैं, आने वाली जो पीढ़ियां हैं उनको ध्यान में रख के कर रहा है वन विभाग। जो अभी सर ने चर्चा की कि भाई पेड़ काटना जो है मजबूरी हो गई, अब वो देखिए उस पेड़ काटने का सबसे बड़ा जो उत्तर प्रदेश में मतलब मुख्य करता धरता हूँ, या जो जिसके निर्देशन में काम हो रहा है वो मैं ही हूँ दुर्भाग्य से। और कभी भी जो है मैं मतलब वो पेड़ काटने का जब आता है तो हम लोग का ये प्रयास रहता है, पहले अपोज करते हैं कि भाई इतना पेड़ क्यों काटना। मतलब हमारे यहाँ ही एक वाकया था कि वो कांवड़ यात्रा के लिए जो एक रोड बन रही थी सर मेरठ में, तो मैंने अपने माननीय मंत्री जी से यही कहा सर कि कांवड़ियों को ऊपर से छाया चाहिए, नीचे पैर में जो है सॉफ्ट मतलब जो है मिट्टी चाहिए, या कंक्रीट का वो तपता हुआ जो है तपती हुई सड़क चाहिए, और ऊपर से जो है छाया गायब चाहिए सर, ये आप तय कर लीजिए। तो उन्होंने कहा बात तो आप ठीक कर रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं हेल्पलेस हूँ। फिर अल्टीमेटली जो है जो अपना एनजीटी है, राष्ट्रीय हरित प्राधिकरण, तो उसके इंटरवेंशन से फिर वही चीज़ जो है बाद में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के सामने गया, और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने भी कहा कि भाई पेड़ काटना क्यों है इसके लिए, मतलब जो है ये तो पेड़ वहाँ होना चाहिए। तो वो कार्यक्रम बंद हुआ, तब तक काफ़ी सारे पेड़ कट गए थे। तो आज की डेट में भी है कि आज सबसे आसान जो लगता है समाधान क्या है, तुरंत पेड़ काटो, हमको रोड चौड़ी करनी है। तो हम लोग का व्यू पॉइंट हमेशा ये रहता है कि भाई कोशिश ये की जाए कि आप किसान के खेत में ले जाइए, तो शायद बायोडाइवर्सिटी का, हैबिटेट का कम लॉस होगा बनिस्पत इसके जो आप सर बता रहे थे विरासत वृक्षों की बात कर रहे थे। वन विभाग ने सभी जनपदों में 600 से भी 700 के आसपास जो है विरासत वृक्ष चिन्हित किए हैं, और आप लोगों को जान के प्रसन्नता होगी कि उन विरासत वृक्षों की जो कटिंग्स हैं वो हर जगह पे पूरे राज्य में प्रोपेगेट किया जा रहा है। हर एक राज्य में वो मतलब जैसे 687 के आसपास है यदि मुझे सही याद है, तो वो जगह जगह से गई, उसकी एक अलग से रजिस्टर बनाई गई है प्रत्येक नर्सरियों में, और उसको जो है लगाने का काम किया जा रहा है। तो सही बात है, हम अपने अतीत को जो है यदि भूल जाते हैं तो शायद वर्तमान हमारा और भविष्य उस प्रकार का नहीं हो सकता। तो याद दिलाने की भी आवश्यकता है। दूसरा जो आह्वान था सर आप लोगों से, हमारा विभाग लगभग 50 करोड़ जो है नर्सरियों में पौधे उगाता है। तो 50 करोड़ का मान लीजिए आप, यदि 50 करोड़ उगा रहे तो 55 करोड़ जो है वो प्लास्टिक की जो थैलियाँ होती हैं वो जो निश्चित तौर पे खरीदता होगा। तो उसका यदि कोई विकल्प यदि आप लोग निकाल सकें सर, तो मेरे ख्याल से बहुत ही बड़ा योगदान होगा। प्रत्येक वर्ष जो है 55 करोड़, केवल एक राज्य की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, यदि पूरा भारत को जोड़ दें तो कई अरबों में वो पॉलीथीन की वो एक फलती फूलती एक मतलब जो है फलता फूलता उद्योग है। तो जल्दी से जो लोग उस व्यवसाय में हैं शायद वो इस चीज़ को जो है आपके सामने वो ऐसा कोई प्रोडक्ट ला के देना नहीं चाहेंगे जिससे कि आप उनका वो खरीदना बंद कर दें। तो मुझे लगता है सर कि यदि इस पर कुछ हो, कोई प्लांट मटेरियल ऐसा हो कि जब हम लगाएं उसके सहित ही जो है जंगल में लगा दें पौधे को। अभी क्या फाड़ के फेंकता है, हालांकि कलेक्ट करने का पूरा उसको संग्रहण करने का प्रयास होता है कि फिर से डिस्पोज करें, लेकिन वो हो नहीं पाता, कुछ ना कुछ जो है कमियां रह जाती हैं। तो मैं जो हमारे युवा वैज्ञानिक हैं यहाँ पे, इनसे भी आह्वान करूँगा कि आप इस दिशा में काम करें और बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं आप करते होंगे, आपको सफलता मिलती होगी, असफलता भी मिलती होगी, लेकिन मतलब जो लोग सफलता के लिए प्रयास करते हैं वही सफल हो पाते हैं। भाई आपने मतलब आपने जितने भी लोग हैं यंग लोग, आपने रॉबर्ट ब्रूस और इन लोगों की कहानियाँ पढ़ी होंगी, जो फेलियर इज़ द पिलर ऑफ सक्सेस। तो अंत में मैं जो है एक गीत की 4 लाइनें हैं वो कह के अपनी बात ख़त्म करूँगा, जिसमें मैं ये अपने जो सिविल सर्वेंट्स हैं उनको भी कहता हूँ ये बात हमेशा, और मैं आपको ये गा के कहूँगा। हमें उन राहों पर चलना है जहाँ गिरना और संभलना है, हमें उन राहों पर चलना है जहाँ गिरना और संभलना है। हम हैं वो दिए औरों के लिए जिन्हें तूफानों में जलना है, हमें उन राहों पर चलना है जहाँ गिरना और संभलना है, जहाँ गिरना और संभलना है, जहाँ गिरना और संभलना है। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and motivational words for protecting our environment. We are privileged to welcome Professor Puneet Kumar Dwivedi for his keynote lecture.
देखिए, मैं एक बात बता दूं, मुझे हिंदी आती है लेकिन अब मैं बोल नहीं पाता हूँ, ठीक है ना। आपको यकीन नहीं आता, मेरे पापा से पूछ लिए, बड़ा बुरा हाल है मेरा हिंदी बोलने में। तो आई विल स्टिक विद इंग्लिश। You hold the pen. अच्छा, शायद आ रहा है, ठीक है, थैंक यू। So thank you, Director NBRI, for inviting me. I appreciate that. Thank you, my dear friend Sumit Behera, for inviting me for this talk. And I hope I will be able to finish everything in next 20-25 minutes. And after that, I will have some time to take questions. So just to start, the title of my today's talk is Conservation Reserve Program in the United States, Potential Lessons for India. And again, my name is Puneet Dwivedi, not Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, just to let you know. I'm an endowed chair professor in sustainable forestry at Clemson University in South Carolina. So moving on, I have divided my presentation into 7 components. First one is just a general background of me and what I do. Then I will talk about Clemson University. Then I will go to US South, which is a very unique region in the country, United States, but also in the world. Not many people know about it, but it's a very dynamic region. Then I will talk about conservation issues that we are facing in US South. Then I will talk about a very important program which is supporting a lot of biodiversity, a lot of carbon, a lot of water quality in the entire US, but specifically in US South. The program is known as Conservation Reserve Program. And then I will talk about impact of CRP, Conservation Reserve Program, on a lot of ecosystem services. And finally, I will talk about India and conservation opportunities that exist in the context of Conservation Reserve Program. So moving on, so this is in US, faculty lines are very unique because everybody has some kind of appointment when it comes to research, teaching, extension, and administration. In my case, since I'm an endowed chair now, things have changed quite a bit, but 4 or 5 years back, my appointment was only research and teaching. So right now my appointment is 60% research, which means that I have to write grants and raise money to take care of the students. And as Dr. Behera suggested, right now I'm advising 8 PhD students, 3 master's students, and 2 postdocs. And if you are a future faculty member, I will strongly advise you, do not go for these kind of numbers. It's a lot of work, and it affects you and your family for sure. 4 or 5 is perfectly fine, but sometimes you cannot control. And plus, these are really smart students. I don't want to miss them. right? And you can always go to my Google Scholar profile to see the kind of publications I have done. And most of my work you will see is mostly on the lines of forest policy and economics. Teaching I just started this new job 1 year back, so last 1 year I'm not teaching, but starting this fall semester is starting 14th of August. I'll be teaching 2 classes, Sustainable Bioenergy Development, where actually most of my expertise is, and then I will also talk about forest policy and administration in the United States of America. Then extension, I have 0% appointment, but I love to talk to people. I love to talk to students to make sure that I am giving them some sincere advice when it comes to how to manage their forest lands, so as to make sure those forest lands are sustainable, and plus those forest lands are making money for them. Otherwise people will sell them and then we lose, not just as a environmental people, but also as a person who enjoys forest quite a bit. And most importantly, I talk to a lot of undergraduate students, especially if they are really smart, which fortunately most of them are, to tell them there is something like research where you can make some excellent career, just like people in this room and beyond. Because not many people, it's very surprising, not many people know about research careers, and then they get into the job, which basically they suffer. So I have been able to successfully transform 6 human beings to make sure they're not ending up in corporate jobs, and now they are all faculty members in really good universities in the country. Right, and finally, being endowed chair, I have a 20% administration appointment, basically where I serve on a lot of committees to make sure that things are moving forward when it comes to universities. And plus, I also edit 3 journals right now: Forest Policy Economics, Trees, Forests and People, and Nature Scientific Reports, to make sure that I am helping young scientists and senior scientists to publish their work, so as to make sure that we are generating knowledge for helping us also for the future generations. Now coming on to Clemson University, it's a decent sized university. We have almost 23,000 undergraduate students. We have almost 6,000 graduate students in Clemson University, and we have 5,000 faculty and staff at Clemson University. I think out of 5,000, 2,000 will be faculty members just like me, and 3,000 people will be staff who help people like me to make sure that we are writing grants, we are graduating people, we are taking care of teaching, and so on and so forth. Plus, you cannot see it here, the research enterprise at Clemson University has gone through the roof from the last 10 years. 10 years back, the research money that we were spending was only $150 million. And today, as I speak, the research money is almost $330 million. So we have basically doubled our research funding, research expenditure in the last 10 years, which is remarkable, because I don't know any university, especially in US South, who has achieved this kind of high impact growth when it comes to research expenditures. Entire campus is really beautiful. I have never seen such a beautiful campus in my life, and I have traveled a lot. Entire campus is designed like a resort, so if you are tired of working, you can just go and walk. It is not as historic as this campus, but it's still a very beautiful campus for sure. The best part of campus to me is 18,000 acres of forest land, which is basically 5 minutes from my office. And also, anybody can grow in this forest area. Walking, hiking, camping, everything is allowed. We also use this facility for doing a lot of ecological research, a lot of long-term research, and basically a lot of research on forest operations. Basically how to grow fiber really fast and really cheap. Other best part is that we are next to Lake Hartwell, which is 56,000 acres of bliss. You can go to basically this part of the campus and basically put your boat in the lake, and you can be boating for next 2 days. It's totally free access, and this is only 4 minutes from my office, so that's the best part of it. Generally, I walk around this lake. It's very refreshing. Second thing is that if you are into golf, because I saw a news article yesterday, Lucknow Development Authority is going to make 200 acres of golf somewhere in IT city. So if you are into golf, you cannot go wrong with Clemson University. People teach, do research, and then play golf for 4 hours, free of cost. Everything is paid by university. So very nice campus, beautiful campus for sure. Now coming on to US South. So these are the 11 states which make US South. Now people also include Oklahoma and Texas. But if you go to Oklahoma and Texas, I will not call them US South. They have their own culture. So just leave Texas alone, because that's the entire country itself. So in terms of these 11 core states which constitutes US South, the total area is 322 million acres. That's 5 times of Uttar Pradesh. So huge area that we are talking about. Almost 60% of that total land is forest. Almost 15.3%, almost 50 million acres is agriculture. 8.5%, 27 million acres is pasture land where we raise cows, because in US people eat beef and all that beef is coming from all these pasture lands. And then urban area, as you can see, it is as good as pasture land, which is 23.5 million acres. So huge area, and these are the major land use classification when it comes to US South. Also, people don't realize every fourth American lives in these 11 states, which is a remarkable number. And if I include Texas, every third American lives in these states. So people don't realize how much intensity is there when it comes to number of people in US South. And plus, it is not like, okay, we are done. US South is where most of the population growth is happening. So a lot of pressure. Now, this is the country, and this is the distribution of land ownership. Almost entire West United States belong to federal government. Trump is in charge. He's the president, he manages all the land, more or less, right? But if you see the east part of the country, it's mostly private land. Only 5, 10 or 15% land belongs to federal government or state government. The rest, 85%, 87% of land belongs to people like you and me. So private land ownership is very important, especially if you are in the eastern side of the United States, and especially if you are in US South, almost all the land is private. So the point is that if you're talking about conservation, and if you're not including private people like you and me and their lands, basically you cannot achieve conservation targets. It's practically impossible. You cannot make a new protected area. That needs a lot of money. First of all, you have to buy a lot of land. Plus on top of that, it's a democracy. You have to feed voters because nobody wants to give their land to federal government, especially for protection. So you have to be ingenious enough to find out ways how to involve private parties to make sure conservation objectives are met as a nation. Now, coming on to environmental challenges, first of all, urbanization. If you see this area, I hope I am going to press the right button. This area, this is going to be a new city itself. So there is a big city, Charlotte, and then definitely we have Atlanta. And now already people have started calling these two things together Charlanta, because these two cities are coming next to each other and becoming a big mega city. And that is all happening on I-85 corridor, because you can easily see that this is a straight line, because that is where the interstate is, I-85. And a lot of people, because of climate change, they are moving from Florida, and where they are going? They are basically going to Charlotte in North Carolina, they're going to Greenville in South Carolina, or they're going to Atlanta. And all these three cities are on I-85. That is why you see a big boom in population in next 20, 30 years. Then definitely we have climate change, which is universal. And as you can see in this map, things are getting hot, for sure. And also climate change, I call it compound disaster, because climate change is not just one thing. Because of climate change, you are going to have more issues when it comes to forest fires. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about how bad forest fires are, especially in US and Canada, right? So yeah, still actually as I speak, the forest fire is going on. Today only I got an email in the morning that we ran out of all the funds. We need more funds. Where is your money? Well, I am not giving you my money for forest fire. Right, then we have forest pests and insects, big problem right now. Definitely we have flooding. What we used to get in 1 year, we get in 3 days. Unfortunately, but very true. Then definitely we have drought, because if you get all the rain in 1 day or 2 days, the rest of the days you're not getting rain, so which is leading to a lot of drought problem. That has all these 4 things impact productivity of forest lands. And then definitely, as you know, US South is where all the hurricanes are, and they become international news. Season is about to start. So definitely with warmer climates, more hurricane problems, and hurricanes are coming more frequently, and also they are getting bigger and more powerful. So climate change is impacting US South quite a bit. Now, other thing is that, and I know this might be a little bit controversial, especially in India, we have a bigger problem that our industry is shutting down. For example, when I started my job at South Carolina, 3 days after, a big paper mill, they just canceled that we are not producing anything and we are shutting it down in the next 3 days. And that mill International Paper Mill was there from last 90 years. Generations after generations have worked there to basically make paper for all of us, all across the globe. Big giant paper mill, but it got closed. Now people will say how that is environmental challenge. That is a good thing. But believe me or not, that is not a good thing because of two reasons. First of all the land is private, including forest lands, right? And as we all know that if we don't make money, then basically we don't care. And then if we don't care, then basically conservation value of forest lands go down quite a bit. And those forest lands are good for nothing. You cannot enter them, I cannot enter them, and forget about me, even deers don't go there, they are so thick, right? So the point is that especially in US South, we are the #1 producer of wood in the world, and we are the #1 producer of anything that you can think out of wood in the world, right? So we have to have market, otherwise the way we have managed forest lands, if we don't have forest markets, we don't manage our forest land, and the conservation of forest lands will go down, which is not a good thing for anybody. So that is why environmental challenge, one of the is that we are losing forest markets for sure, because not many people are using paper. Now, a lot of people don't know this. US South is the Makkah, or if you want to call Ayodhya, of freshwater biodiversity in the world. You cannot go wrong on freshwater biodiversity in US South. For example, as you can see, it has unparalleled freshwater biodiversity in the world. Like flat, there is no competition even, right? Then recently, because of all the biodiversity in freshwater, in birds, in reptiles, you just name it, the US South, especially the coastal part of US South, was declared the 36th biodiversity hotspot in 2016. Right, because they were not sure there's such a flat area, how it can be so rich in biodiversity, but when we presented data to them, their eyes popped up, and then they basically, there was nothing else to declare it a biodiversity hotspot, right? So it is very rich in biodiversity. We have all the pressure that you can possibly think of, urbanization, climate change, loss of forest management, so it's very tricky to make sure that we are doing things right. Now this is a map which is basically shows how land use is there in South Carolina. So this is the city of Greenville, one of the fastest growing city, as I told you, I-85. This is where Clemson University is. It is also moving towards Greenville, the way urbanization is happening. And one thing I want to highlight, you can see all the forest land here, the green portion, right? That is all privately owned. Government owns nothing there. And plus you can also see a lot of partial land in between those forest lands, right? So no matter how much conservation you do as a federal government, you cannot do much because land doesn't belong to you. You have to involve private property owners, those guys who owe forest lands and also those guys who owe partial land. Because if you do conservation on here, and there is a partial land in between where nothing is happening, then you are restricting the movement of animals. And that is never a good idea when it comes to genes, right? So that is why a big, bold initiative was taken way back in 1985 under the Reagan administration to how to go back, I think. How to go back, bottom one? Yeah, sorry, yeah, thanks. So that is why the idea of conservation reserve program came into existence. And again, it is a totally voluntary program. Nobody is forcing any landowner to participate in this program, first of all. And as you can see here, it is a voluntary program encouraging agriculture producers and landowners to convert highly erodible and other environmentally sensitive lands to vegetative cover, especially to promote native species. Grasses, trees, doesn't matter, but if you want to do conservation, and if you want to do it right in a technical matter, and also on top of that, totally voluntary, then there is some program where you can go and talk about it. Or most importantly, by enrolling into this program, a participant gets annual rental payment and also cost share assistance. So basically landowner doesn't have to do anything. They go to USDA, Department of Agriculture office, they say I want to do it, then they check everything, then you are enrolled in the program, then they give you annual money, $50, $60 per acre per year for next 10, 15 years, depending upon what you are trying to do. And plus, they also share up to 90% of the cost that you are going to incur because now you are trying to do conservation. So overall, really good program in a lot of sense. Now here is the dynamics, how much land is enrolled in conservation reserve program in US South. And as you can see, at the height of this program, almost 400,000 acres of land was enrolled. That's a huge number. So if you add all of these things, so almost 2-3 million acres of total land was enrolled in conservation reserve program just in US South. At the country level, it is almost 35 million acres. Now the money that has been spent on conservation reserve program is starting from 1987, when actually program was implemented on the field. You can see farmers and partial landowners in South have gotten almost $6 billion. That's a lot of money. If you make $1 million over 30-35 years of your life, you are considered very successful in US. We are talking about people getting up to $6 billion across these 11 states, which is remarkable. Totally voluntary program, there is no pressure of any kind, but if you want money and if you're interested in conservation, you can get some support from federal government because they are willing to share your cost, but also they give you money so that you're not at loss. And money is decent enough. Few issues here and there, as always, is US, but nothing which is preventing you where you want to do conservation and you do not have resources. You can get a lot of help from federal government. Now, under conservation reserve program, initially a lot of land was planted under trees, and most of that land was basically loblolly pine plantations. Of lately, things have changed, and now they are planting longleaf pine plantations because those are really close to conservation objectives of the federal government. But initially, a lot of loblolly pine was planted, up to 2 million acres of land. And this planting has changed the entire dynamics when it comes to forest lands in the US South. As you can see here, almost 50% of total population in the South gets their water, which is pure quality water coming out of these forest lands. You can directly drink that water, you don't have to even treat it. It's so nice and clean. Think about if these forest lands were not there, if these plantations were not there, then basically you have to treat your water, and treatment cost is very expensive. But forestry, water comes in, they take it, they just pass it through bleach, chlorine, and then basically supply to your home. That's it, nothing is special. On top of that, this is a story of carbon, especially we are talking about World Environment Day, and carbon is definitely one of the most important pollution that we have right now, especially in terms of its long-term impact. And as you can see, because of these plantations, because of all the conservation efforts, US South forest lands have the highest amount of carbon in the country in the absolute manner, but the number goes down if you go for CO2 per acre stored. Reason is very simple, because plantations, rotation cycle is only 25-30 years. We do not have big trees. Big trees are mostly in Seattle area or in Boston area. So that is why they sequester a lot of carbon on per acre basis. But if you talk about quantities, yes, US South, nobody can beat it. On top of that, all that carbon is basically was initially supported by conservation reserve program. Moving on to important thing, and this is a very interesting research. Basically, these guys are finding that because of all this reforestation that has happened from last 20-30 years in US South, basically we have been able to successfully mitigate the impact of climate change, especially in US South. Really good research. So planting trees, you cannot go wrong, because they not only give you free clean water, they also give you carbon, but on top of that, they're also increasing your capacity towards climate change. And definitely, if not you, your kids, your grandkids, we're really thankful for that. Right? I did not mention one very important service because of all these plantations, jobs. There are towns after towns who do only forestry, and they cannot do forestry if there are no trees, and most of those trees are coming from this conservation reserve program because they were planted 20-30 years back. So amazing program in terms of impact. Now coming on to India. So same environmental issues. We are sitting in Lucknow. I think everybody will agree we are going way too fast. Every time I fly to Lucknow, I see 3 or 4 new skyscrapers, especially on Shahid Path area. Just amazing how fast the city is growing. So same issues with climate change. Definitely there are big impacts of climate change already in India. Then definitely country of immense biodiversity. I don't have to convince anybody that how true that is, especially in this hall. Then a lot of private land ownership. Most of the agriculture is private. I have never heard that government of UP owns 10,000 acres or 10,000 hectares of agricultural land. At least I don't know aware of it, right? Most of the agricultural land is private. And on top of that, just in UP alone, almost 12 lakhs hectare of usal land, right? And I was reading all the literature from the last 4 or 5 days when Sumit Behra contacted me for this talk. I never found that any literature which says that we are taking care of usal land to basically for conservation purposes. Most of that land is being converted for agriculture purposes, which is very shocking to me, because why you want to put so much of money for agriculture? Because your yields will be never as high as normal agricultural land. So it is best to put less money and make soil good enough to do more conservation activities. And you can follow the same model of conservation reserve program where you are involving farmers to do conservation. And plus you are giving money to them directly, and I'm pretty sure they will be very open to the idea. Now this is an example that I got from World Bank, and report is bad, but I got this thing. Report is not bad, sorry, my bad. Report is old, so do not quote me on that one, but I wanted to show you one thing. Look at here, this was all usal land somewhere in Manpuri. Then they put tons and tons of money to improve it, where they are doing now cultivation, agriculture, right? But think about it, if they would have gone for CRP type of model, this plot would have been a perfect habitat for pollination. I'm pretty sure this area does not have any pollination for thousands and thousands of hectares of land. Right? So that is the impact you can make just by thinking new approaches, taking new things that have been already done, taking lessons from them and doing it better, so as to make sure that we are working towards conservation objectives of the country. And it doesn't have to be big. A smaller plots here or there can definitely do wonderful things, especially when you're talking about pollination services, when you're talking about carbon services, when you're talking about just simple recreation. Right, so as I stated here, smaller scale conservation efforts on private land are the key to overall environmental sustainability, especially when you're talking about huge environmental challenges that we have, especially urbanization. And the scale is immense, because if you see here very closely, they also say 20% of the country's land is wasteland. So government of India is worried about 1/3 of land under forestry or tree cover. You can go up to 50%. Just by focusing on innovative programs like conservation reserve program in the country. And that too in a very affordable manner without any public outcry. Right, so these are some of my thoughts. This is my email address. If you want to reach out, I will love to talk to them. That is my cell phone number. That is also my WhatsApp number. So if you want to reach on WhatsApp, that is totally fine too. And if you have not been to Clemson, South Carolina, I will definitely encourage you to visit it. And if you're visiting it, please let me know. I will love to have you as a guest. And then we can see basically how we can collaborate, looking into research, looking into teaching, looking into extension and outreach. And one thing I want to highlight before we close, I know plastic is a big problem. The first research paper which talked about forestry, which talked about plastic pollution, if you remember, there was a big science article, the glacier made out of plastic bag. That article was published by Jenna. She's a faculty member at UGA. Her kids and my kids, we went to same college, we know it very well, and I have seen her from the last 10, 15 years, how well she has represented people, communities on plastic pollution. So as a result of her research, we know a lot of people in Georgia, South Carolina, who are already making new products out of plants, out of animal waste products, which are basically plastic, and they can replace the normal plastics that we use 100%. So if there is an opportunity to work together on those lines, I can definitely connect scientists here to the right people in US, so as to make sure that we can do some joint research for making some everlasting impact. Because believe me or not, plastic is also in mother's milk, which cannot be right, as we all know that. Right, so with this I will stop, and I think I have 4 or 5 minutes to take some questions. Otherwise I'm around if you want to hang around and ask some more questions. But thank you again, Director Sir, and also Dr. Behra for inviting me here, and it was wonderful to visit NBRI. And just to let you know, though I cannot speak in Hindi, especially as a speech, I lost that habit after living in 20 years in US. Even my dreams are in English, if you don't believe. I was born in Kanpur, then I was raised in ITI Raebareli first, because my parents were employee of ITI Raebareli, established by Indira Gandhi. And then they got transferred, so I cannot leave them when I was 5-year-old. Of course, I have to be with them. So then we went to ITI Mankapur, district Gonda. So one thing led to another. I left India in 2006 to do my PhD, and I can tell one thing for sure. I'm very thankful to being a forester, because it's a wonderful opportunity to work for people, as sir mentioned, but also most importantly, work for environment, especially if you are passionate about it. And plus, being a professor, the best part is that not only you advance science, but also you advance the future of humanity to make sure that you are producing, you are mentoring good people which can advance your objective for next 100 to 100 years. So with this, I will stop and thank you once more.
Thank you, sir, for your informative lecture. Now we proceed further for the release of the latest issue of Society's journal named as International Journal of Plant and Environment. Arditi Tripathi, sir, please come on the stage. Ma'am, Nandita ma'am. I request Director Sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest and guest of honor as a token of gratitude. So I further request kindly felicitate Dr. P.V. Sane. So I request former director and founder of ISCB. And Mr. Sambhav, please, please come on the stage. So I request kindly felicitate Mr. Sambhav Sharma. To conclude, kindly stand up for national anthem. I'm sorry, everyone. I request Dr. Adi Tripathi for a vote of thanks.
On behalf of International Society of Environmental Botanists and CSIR National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, and my own behalf, it is a gratifying privilege for me to propose a vote, heartfelt gratitude to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion, marking the celebration of World Environment Day and the ISEF Foundation Day. We're deeply grateful to Mr. Sanjay Pathak, IFS, for his insightful and inspiring address as the chief guest of today's function. His valuable thoughts have enriched our understanding, and we sincerely thank him for his presence and very thoughtful address. We also extend our profound appreciation to Professor Puneet Dwivedi, Professor and Heather Helt, Endowed Chair in Sustainable Forest Management, Clemson University, for his highly informative talk and provided valuable perspectives, and we thank him wholeheartedly. We profusely thank Dr. Ajit Kumar Shasany ji, Director CSIR-NBRI and President International Society for Environmental Botanists, for his strategic planning, guidance, encouragement, and continued support, which have instrumental in success of today's program. We are honored by the presence of Dr. P.V. Sane, the former director of CSIR-NBRI and founder president of ISEP. His steadfast guidance and support have significantly contributed to the growth and improvement of ISEP's activities. We also deeply appreciate some of our colleagues. Dr. U.C. Lavania, Professor R.P. Singh is here, for their keen interest and constructive advice toward the enhancement of the Society's Journal, International Journal of Plant and Environment. They're insightful, invaluable, and we sincerely thank them. A special note of appreciation goes to Dr. Sumit Behera, the dynamic and dedicated secretary of the ISEB, for his active participation in organizing today's program. His efforts have greatly contributed to its success, and we are truly grateful. We extend our heartfelt thanks to the esteemed scientists and technical staff from CSIR-NBRI for their presence and support, which have enriched today's programs. Additionally, we sincerely appreciate the contributions of all the past and present executive members and allies of ISEB, including Dr. D.K. Upreti, Dr. Nandita Singh, Dr. Vivek Pandey, Dr. P.S. Shirke, Dr. S.K. Tiwari, Dr. P.K. Singh, Dr. Samir Samant, Dr. A.P. Sane, Dr. Vidhu Sane, Dr. Pankaj Srivastav, Dr. Sharat Srivastav, Dr. Vivek Srivastav, Dr. P.C. Verma, Dr. Dibyendu Adhikari, and Dr. C.S. Mohanty, Dr. Richa Rai, Dr. Anjali Patel, and many other scientists and technical personnel. Their dedication and cooperation have strengthened ISEP's mission in various ways. I'd also like to take a moment to express my appreciation to ICT, PME, Information, ISEP staff, and Mr. Ram Kumar for photography, and many research students for their participation and unwavering support in today's event. Additionally, a special thanks to administrative staff of CSIR-NBRI, whose presence is greatly valued. I also like to thank the press and media and Mr. Sambhav Sharma, who is present today. Initially, my deepest gratitude goes to each and every one of you who has joined the program today. Your involvement and enthusiasm have made this occasion truly special and successful. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
In welcoming, I missed Dr. L.B. Chaudhary, who is our former colleague. I welcome and yeah, and thanks him also, and special thanks to Mr. Rajat Raj Rastogi, who untiringly helped for conducting this event.
Thank you, everyone. Kindly stand up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Please be in the auditorium for the photograph. There is an announcement.